just sitting here shooting the breeze about our beloved UK Wildcats basketball team. I almost missed the beginning of the show. Hi, everybody. It is noon. It is Wednesday. It is the High Noon Hemp Show. If everything's going well, we have live and video on demand at the Hemptations Beach Facebook page, also on the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel, and at Hemptations on Twitter. And of course, if you want the audio version, you want to see all this beauty that you have right in front of you, the pictures, whatever videos we show, any of that stuff. You just want the audio. Podbean, of course, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. Just search the High Noon Hemp Show. I am Joe Clare. I do various things on the interwebs that you can Google or Bing or Netscape or whatever. He is the man himself, high above the hemp quarters in Sharonville, Ohio Beach. How are things on this Veterans Day in the world of temptations?
Back to a little bit chilly, I suppose, at the
Indeed.
very least. Welcome, everyone, to the High Noon Hemp Show. It is true, I am high above in the hemp quarters in Sharonville, doing our thing. We finally got our problems worked out, I think. Second week in a row, we might get a good show in. We'll see. We'll see. If I glitch, I promise you I'll be back. Um, Again, it's not always day, but it's 11/11, and I guess is Veterans Day always on 11? Because
I
honestly,
believe
I don't
so.
know. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And I feel like that's I was that was almost backed up by a Facebook page that I had posted like 4 years ago, obviously on Veterans Day. Um,
If I remember correctly,
for the
it's
record,
the Armistice Day for World War One is the day, the official day.
okay. Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Look at that.
Um, and for the record, although I am 100% anti-war, I do support the military, soldiers, veterans.
Indeed.
It may seem quite contrary, but I do not believe in war, but I do support the military and what they do. And so, they're for defense. They're not for war. Again, I think that we shouldn't have to use our military for wars unless someone's trying to invade the United States.
Yep.
And then they can come through our military, and they can try to come through me for that matter. But anyway, I'm not here to debate that. Positive vibes go out to all our veterans. My grandfather was a veteran. My brother is a veteran. Um, and so, that service, my grandfather was in World War II. So he was surrounded by the hemp that still existed. He was on a ship. He was in the Navy. He was on a ship. Um, and, for the record, our military basically also started on the backs of cannabis sativa L or hemp. Um, all naval vessels would have been rigged with sails, um, riggings, all of that would have been hemp. As we were as the Europeans that immigrated to America were making their own military here in what they called the United States of America. Um, they started growing hemp kind of on New York, Pennsylvania, and then like the southern actually parts of Ohio, because the Native Americans were growing food product in northern Ohio, and so the Europeans grew food product. But the hemp kind of came down here for some reason, and it's probably because the Native Americans actually didn't go into Kentucky, which makes more sense as to why Kentucky eventually became one of the leading growers of industrial hemp in this country. As my understanding of Native Americans go, they were more like southern Ohio and northern Tennessee, and they would go into Kentucky to hunt. But there weren't a whole lot of Native Americans that were native to Kentucky. And so, anyway, back to the military. We can jump up to World War II, just like I said, which would have been the last real conflict that we would have used hemp in. But we're talking about not only are we still talking about the riggings on the ships. We're no longer using sails, but we're still using a lot of cordage. That cordage was all made out of hemp up through World War II. Parachutes, which is a big deal if you are a Bush family um, fan, so to speak, because from my understanding, Elderbush's life was saved by a hemp parachute when his
I believe
plane
so.
went down. And my understanding is also that the stitching in their uniforms was hemp, and so the ropes that pulled him into the boat when his plane went down, and his hemp parachute saved his life, were made of hemp parachute, and so hemp, saved the lives of many soldiers throughout the years. If they were using hemp in uniforms anywhere, hemp is naturally antibacterial, antimicrobial, so it's a great product, fiber wise, to be using in a uniform. It wicks well. Wicking is uh, taking moisture out, and it also stays strong when it gets wet. And so, um, you could almost waterproof it naturally, but it still wouldn't be 100% waterproof. That's for sure. And so, hemp has played a big role in the military. Maybe not now. Obviously, as everything is futuristic now. But ironically enough, I'm pretty sure on a show, I don't know how long ago, that sometime just recently, I reported that now the military is actually going to study hemp fiber to go back into uniforms. And so I don't know why they have to study it. It's been studied, it's been proven. Envirotextiles actually proved with a study how beneficial it is for humans to wear and use as a fiber, beneficial to the planet to wear and use because it doesn't require any herbicides or pesticides like cotton. Um, and so, the only thing it can't compete with is synthetic fiber, which is probably what the Navy now, if they have to, they probably use a synthetic fiber. But I'm sure that there are still riggings on a lot of ships that are still industrial hemp. And so, although I'm sure that, as they were building ships forward from that, they were probably getting away from hemp and using synthetic fiber, um, which of course means you have to drill for oil and then you have synthetic waste. And so it may be a lot stronger than any natural fiber, but it's not good for the planet. So we have to consider that. But anyway, there you go. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you, veterans, for all you have done to keep us secure here, so we can do the High Noon Hemp Show um, every Wednesday, as it be. And just look at how much hemp was a part of military, and that's just like 300 years of United States military um, using hemp, and so there you have it. All right, we're going to go into the product spotlight. Of course, I've been putting in some hours in the stores periodically recently, which is good for me. And now that it's getting dark at night, I got this glorious picture, glorious I call it, of the front of the O'Brienville store. Um, and so, uh, really, the neon really lights up.
Yeah.
This is, I have to get temptation signs like the one that's there for all the stores. That was the first store that I put one of those in. The company designed it for me, which is just they just took my logo and they made a neon sign. um, but the stores need those. Um, but the purple and green sign looks good. It all looks good. I like it. I call that number one by night. That's what that photo is called. Number one by night. So let's jump right into the product spotlight. As I like to say, four from the store, one from my door. Um, we have our new batch of Hemptations flour has come in. And so we have four new strains. We have GG4, Suzy Q, Mendocino Perps, and Grapefruit, all with different degrees of CBD, but less than 0.3% THC by dry weight, as is the law. But I've already seen that the Mendocino Perps is going over pretty well. Um, and so get those on the shelf at all your Temptations locations. We have a new Delta 8 in. Um, it's called Remedy Delta 8. And these are the cartridges. Comes in 5 different flavors or so. We're going to be seeing more Delta 8 stuff kind of coming around. These guys also have gummies um, with the Delta 8, and the Delta 8 is becoming quite popular in the stores. That is for sure. It's back. I know everybody should be excited. If you haven't enjoyed a Queen City Lazarus Lime seltzer, rest assured that it is. Now that should say limited edition 2 because it was first a limited edition, so it went away. And then I don't know time they had to wait before they could release it again and call it a limited edition, but it is back. Um, as you can see, these are 20 milligrams of hemp extract. They call it CBD in the lime flavor. If you don't know the story of, you can see the little lizards on the can. The Lazarus lizard was imported into Cincinnati by a family. A little boy brought like 12 of them in a box, literally 12 of these little things in a shoebox way back in, I don't know, the 30s or something. I don't know, it was early 1900s. And they are now everywhere in Cincinnati. I just noticed them out at our marina. I know they're in O'Brienville. I actually just got some pictures a couple weeks ago of a Lazarus lizard basking in the sun on the back wall behind the Temptations location. And I got a picture of a tiny little baby one. It was so cute. This little thing was like, and it went straight up the wall. This little baby
Wow.
Lazarus lizard went straight up the brick wall. Um, and so, yes, they are semi-famous to Cincinnati. When I take Josie for a walk in O'Brienville, and I saw one in Northside too. There aren't as many in Northside because there's a lot of cats in Northside, unfortunately, but there's quite a bit in O'Brienville somehow. I see them all over the place. They get out and they bask on the concrete and whatnot to warm themselves up. And so they are not lime flavored. Don't pick one up, try to lick it or eat it. It is not lime flavored itself, but the Queen City Lazarus is lime
They don't
flavored.
have any CBD in them.
And they don't have any CBD, not that I know of. Now, if you feed your Lazarus lizard CBD, then I guess it would. Um, but not, yeah. Um, this last one, once again, we kind of got breaking weather here, where it was like totally nice, beautiful, but now it's going to get kind of back to, I think, a little chillier, and so we're breaking out the Top Hand Glove winter collection to get into all the stores. They do a scarf and basically 3 different kind of beanies. One real beanie, a flip up, and then and that back one in there actually has a brim. It's kind of a solid brim, kind of not quite a tam or different than a tam, but if you got a lot of hair you want to put up in there, there's a lot of room in there um, for it, and you keep yourself warm with the hemp from Top Hand Glove. And so there you have it, 4 from the store. Now the one from my door, these are new to me. Again, I have been actually looking for this product, um, not too hard, but because I had a little of my old stuff left. But this is Schmidt's hemp seed oil deodorant. And so we used to sell Leifs, I mean, forever and ever, and I used Leifs forever and ever. And then he took the hemp out of it, which broke my heart. And I still have some lace. You know, it's like I hold on to it. I try not to wear it. I don't know if I smell, but I just sit in my office all day long. So I don't think that it matters if I do. It's not like I don't shower. But anyway, I just found these on Amazon when I was searching for um, hemp deodorant because I needed some. And so this is a couple different flavors. flavors, a couple different scents, um, and so next time you're looking for an all natural deodorant, go to Amazon, check out Schmidt's or some other. There's some other brands. There's another one that I got. If you like patchouli, and I know you do, um, there's another one that I found that is patchouli scented, and so good stuff. Clean. It's clean, natural. That's what you need in a deodorant because other deodorant that's not natural, it's a sealant. It's got stuff in it that's not supposed to be on our skin. Blah 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 blah. Don't use it. Um, that being said,
Yeah.
there you have it.
Now,
4 from the store, 1 from my door. Now,
now it's time for the segment that's making a comeback. It's recovered from all of our technological issues to reclaim its spot as the greatest thing that's ever happened on the internet. You may think it's that cat that played the piano or whatever, but it's not. That's dumb. This is much better. This is the beachwear segment on the High Noon Hemp Show, where we ask the most important question that you need the answer to, and we get the answer from Beach himself because we ask him, "What are you wearing, Beach?"
that's right. If you are a Cincinnati Bengals fan and you know that we are playing our arch rivals this week, then if you ask yourself, what are you wearing, Beach? You would actually know that it is orange. Um, I picked this one out, this outfit for this week because of that. So from on my head, I've got a chieftain hat. Um, my jacket, and I can't believe it because I didn't write it down, and now I'm gonna flake on it, so I'm gonna have to think about that one. Um, but that's like a bike jacket. It came fully padded when I bought it, and it's kind of again, it's not cold, it's not hot, but but the jacket itself is probably 100% canvas. It's thick. It could take a falling if you had to. My shirt, of course, the Temptations University shirt printed here at Planet Everywhere. My pants are actually beachwear, literally.
Oh,
These are an old, just natural, what he called beach pants, and I don't wear these as much as I should on days where it's not cold and it's not warm. So I'm gonna start breaking these out a little bit more. Just Natural hasn't existed as a company for probably 10 years. You look closely, you can see my Green Springs Technology pen. I've got my I Love Bad briefs, Satori socks, and good old Nike. These are what's called the ramen edition because they're based on the ramen noodle packaging. But they work great for my black and orange Bengals support. The Bengals support us, we support them. We do have Bengals for customers. I'm not bragging about that. I don't want to. I'm not going to tell anybody who they are. But the Bengals have been shopping at Temptations just about as long as the Temptations has been open. I think, um, and so uh, we do appreciate their support. And I've been a Bengals fan since 1988, I believe
yes. Long
it was.
suffering Bengals fans.
Long suffering Bengals fan. But I tell you what, this new boy. I don't
Yeah,
want to say it like that. That's a terrible way to say it. This new kid. I mean, he improves every game. So I'm
absolutely.
excited. So anyway, if you're a Bengals fan, you're wondering what you should be wearing that's made of hemp to support the Bengals. There you have it in the "What Are You Wearing, Beach" segment of the store. Um, Not a whole lot going on. A couple cool pictures here. This first one is a hemp wine, and I don't really think it's necessarily even available to the public. This gentleman posted it on Facebook in one of the hemp posts that he makes this himself, um, and so excuse me. It's he calls it Nirvana Homebrewing Hemp Wine, and of course there's a picture. That's kind of a famous picture of a hemp field on the label. And I kind of looked it up, and all I could really find is there is a line of alcohol. This is interesting. There's a line of alcohol that's called Nirvana, vodka, gin, that's hemp flavored. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you. But there is a line of alcohol as well that they say is hemp flavored. And I saw a vodka and a gin. So that's where searching for Nirvana wine got me. So check that out either way, if you're interested in something like that. This next picture, speaking of the Navy and sails, this picture is of hemp sail work. And so, you know, the woven pieces are probably as thick as the thinnest twine that we sell, which I believe is like a 25-pound weight, which means you can take a piece, attach a 25-pound weight to it, and it won't break. And so, I mean, that is an amazing amount of work. And they even, mentioned it in the article that was talking about this hemp sale. The reason they worked so hard to do that was to keep their fishermen safe, because these were, I believe, more sails used on fishermen. I'm not saying that Navy vessels didn't have sails like this, woven like this, um, but the fact of the matter is their lives were in the hands of their sails, and their sails were made of hemp, and so um, very little. And I haven't never done the research to find out. Very little shipwrecks, I believe, are related to sails going bad. Most of the time you hear of shipwrecks, it is normally because they hit rocks, and I'm pretty sure. Now, I'm not saying that if a ship goes down in the middle of the ocean, I don't know possibly what it was, but in history, to me, it doesn't seem like the tale of a lot of ships going down is ever sail malfunction. Once again, a testament to how strong the sails were. They couldn't rip, just like your parachute can't rip. It has to be made of material that's not going to rip, because once something like that rips, it's done. It no longer is efficient, um, and so that shows the power of hemp in the history of humanity, um, and keeping humanity safe in all its adventures, from the air or from the sea, I suppose. And then, of course, going across the country, right, wrong, or indifferent, when the Europeans were migrating across America, um, those covered wagons were hemp. A lot of it was hemp sail that was retired, and then replaced with new hemp sail. A lot of it was just hemp canvas, because they were making a lot of hemp canvas. So it's just amazing how much work goes into that, and that's all those things that we didn't have to take for granted. But I'm sure the passengers on ships and on smooth sailing ships and whatnot, and even going, whatever, um, they they probably prayed to the sails at some point in those ventures.
Oh, do we have a freeze? I do believe we do. Our first freeze of the day. That's not bad. 24 minutes in. Right as we were on the cusp of the news and events segment. Don't forget, Hemptations.com, of course, has the locations, and it has a link to the online shopping. If you can't get to a location for whatever reason, you can shop online. More products are going on there every day. PlanetEverywhere.com. But as I said, it's all linked at Hemptations.com, including the directions to the 4 locations. As Beach often says, go to the one closest to you, or go to the one farthest out, the one that's farthest away from you. Whatever you want to do. Beach has returned, I
I
do
am
believe.
back.
There we go.
It is true. Got a couple more articles here, a couple more things. Once again, this is kind of interesting. Article published in the Medical Journal of Australia found that CBD helps fight COVID lung, what they call COVID lung, which is
Nope. More glitches? Seems to be. When it rains, it pours, as they say. in the
Interesting.
podcasting business, the technology business. We're at the mercy of the technology, which is a shame. But the technology that makes this possible also makes it possible for Beach to freeze and have to come back to the show. If you want to watch the video, as I said, in all its glory, Temptations Beach Facebook page, at Temptations on Twitter, and the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel, the uh, the video itself, the quality just seems better to me at YouTube. Facebook has never really figured that out as far as quality and such. Or if you're a Twitter person, you want to watch on Twitter the Periscope video, you can do that as well. But I would suggest the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel if you're really into the video. Of course, Podbean as well, the High Noon Hemp Show, the audio podcast for those of you on the go. Don't want to watch the video. Don't want to see Frozen Beach right there. Right, no, hold on. There, no, there. Frozen Beach. High above the Temptations in Sharonville. So if you're around Sharonville, stop in and
Hello,
check it
hello,
out.
hello.
Beach has returned
Woo! All
yet
right.
again to
We
the
can
show.
hope that this one stays at least so I can finish. I'll talk really fast so you can all hear me. Again, this article, basically the findings showed that CBD helped improve lung structure and exerted a potent anti-inflammatory effect. And so again, CBD has showing positive results for fighting what they call COVID lung, which I think is probably a pretty important side effect to fight. So we'll see, where that gets us in the world. But that was over in Australia. Um, Congratulations to a company called Bast Fiber Technologies. They have been awarded certifications signifying that their technical natural linen and hemp fibers are truly sustainable alternatives for the non-woven industry. And so that's good. Um, the more proof that hemp is good for the planet, the more proof that people will use it, and then we can prove how strong it is, and then everybody will want to use it, and then you know what? That's the world we want to live in. It's the world I have always wanted to live
Indeed.
in. Last little bit of news. It's bad for Sir David Attenborough anyway. He is the latest image to be used by a CBD company. And again, I don't know if it's the same CBD company or like they got like this CBD scam company, which is really what I believe. Like I don't know if they really even have real CBD products, but they keep using famous people's image in their ads online and whatnot. I guess I haven't really seen any of these personally, but this Sir David, is not the first famous person. I think Clint Eastwood was one. I feel like there was an athlete, Peyton Manning. Maybe his image was used by this CBD
Hmm.
company, or I don't know if it's multiple CBD. I feel like it's the same people running the same scam, and they're just regurgitating it with one way or another. I don't know how they're doing it. Um, but yeah, Sir David Attenborough he's the latest famous person to be used in a
This is weird.
CBD ad without his permission. It is really just weird. I mean, like I could not imagine even thinking for 1 minute that I could do an ad with a famous person's image in it without they wouldn't even let me one of my channels wouldn't let me run my anniversary TV commercial because we had our big stand-up Lorax in it. He was like, I have this big wood Lorax, like life size. We
You didn't get
call
his
it life
permission
size. He's like 4 feet tall,
to use
and
his likeness.
um, because yeah, but we had him on the table like he was like at the register when we were panning through. But one of the TV channels came back and said we have to edit that out. We can't. That's without permission. And I get it. I mean, I suppose I should be paying Dr. Seuss's family uh, some remnants for using the Lorax. I was very brief and whatnot, but it is that's how people look at licensing like that, though. I mean,
Yeah.
again, it's as far as images goes, because on the other side of that, I got a cease and desist on my own image because I didn't take the picture of me. So, just so you know, he who takes the pick owns the pick.
Mm.
So um, that's why I had to go with a whole different billboard. Although I use a picture that is very similar to the picture that they wouldn't let me use, I couldn't use the original picture because I did not own the rights of my own image. And so it's an interesting game, I suppose. But weird indeed. So that's it. Basically, that's what's going on this week on the High Noon Hemp Show. Thanks everybody for um, tuning in. If you're watching later or listening later, thank you for that as well. There are no events, I don't think, going on that I know of, virtual or in person. Otherwise, I think that it's definitely going to be uh, I think now we're just everybody's just going to wait, get through the holidays, wait to see if
Yeah.
this new vaccine is going to be released, even though the average person won't see the new vaccine, even though they're saying it's going to be released in the middle of December. I'm not trying to spread any rumors, but I feel like that's probably what they're preparing the country for. Um, and so I think again, nothing should be planned for Thanksgiving. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. There's so many. Again, I want to know who's all if everybody's testing positive because they're just idiots. No, I shouldn't say that either. But they're probably not wearing masks and they're probably not washing their hands. And
Mm.
anyway, that's not what the show is about. Although hemp is proving to be able to fight COVID as much as anything, and so um, maybe next week I will delve deep into why hemp should be the solution to COVID as much as a vaccine. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Those are my own sound effects because we don't have any sound effects here at
Yes.
the High Noon Hemp Show either, folks. Just so you know. But anyway, thanks again. And remember, reduce, reuse, recycle, make everything else out of hemp. Having temptations?
See you all next week.